What I'm about to say does not come from a place of.
This is a quote from the comedian Trevor Noah, pictured here, and his mother, pictured here in a younger photo with him, talking about her views of marriage and traditional men. The way my mother always explained it, the traditional man wants a woman to be subservient, but he never falls in love with subservient women. He's attracted to independent women. He's like an exotic bird collector, she said. He only wants a woman who is free because his dream is to put her in a cage. Now, expanding upon that quote, I definitely think it adds into what this previous creator that I stitched was saying, where these men will go for women out of their league. Like professionally, personality wise, will go after these women and then want them to shrink themselves in order to fit them into their lives. And part of that comes from, I believe, as part of it is jealousy of these women and their ambition and their goals and their drive. And they literally see these women living these good, decent lives and make it their life's goal to like be like, I gotta get in there. I gotta mess with her. She's living too good. And also, again, going back to the part of caging her, like these are men that will literally cause problems in women's lives and make their lives so.
Really know if this is my last time, but what I know is I'm feeling just fine. My life is like a red carpet, and I'm feeling like the richest millionaire. This is my local mayor, and I'm the biggest star around here. What's happening, fam? L.A.R. movement still moving, man. Subscribe or die trying. You see the thumbnail, but more importantly, you see the clip, man. Get the book, Google it first, and so you can find it on Amazon. This is a problem with this half-truth, misandrous rhetoric. The traditional thing, and people do all of this kind of, low-key lying a lot. And the point is this: so you use Trevor Noah, who's South African, and his mother who's black, who's South African, and his father who's like Dutch or German or something like that. I think German. It could be Dutch, German, one of those. And you use that couple in South Africa to talk about traditional men when you're probably American, you know, or living in America. And then saying, you know, this person's got somebody out of their league when unfortunately the stereotype of that type of interracial relationship is her getting a guy who's quote unquote out of her league. It's always a step down because the white guys with the black woman, it's a step down. Like you could have done better. And for them, you got your white man, and I don't even and I don't think their relationship worked out either. But the point of the matter is this: if you're gonna tell a story for your own narrative, no other people know the rest of the story. And sometimes I've seen this too often is nowadays people can be on social media telling the half truth like, you a woke genius or something. And somebody can look at it and go, yeah, the foundation of your argument that you have now is really, it's in mud. You put the foundation of your argument in sand on a rainy day. It's about to move because it's not a solid argument from where you started. Now, the problem becomes a lot of you ladies start listening to this and y'all believe this stuff and y'all gotta, yeah, I understand. You know what? That's how I kind of feel. I'm a cage bird. It's exotic. Are you talking about an interracial relationship where you could be viewed as a fetish? You know what I'm saying? That's in Africa. Wow, like that makes you feel the same way now. That's traditional. Because last time I checked, that wasn't a traditional relationship in general. So let's just get tradition out of the way with that. But also to make it fit because of a quote that he said that his mother said. So that quote is about, a white guy. It could have been. Or it could have been about a black guy she was dating after his dad moved back to whatever country he's from. So a lot of the stuff, when people, I'm not trying to use context as a way to circumvent her point of view, but I'm just saying, when you start on a bad foundation, people look at it a little differently because it's like, this not real. This can't be real. This doesn't even make sense because of the people you presented. Like it doesn't make sense because of the people you presented. It's kind of like hmm hmm uh you would consider a young woman who's black dating an American guy who's white, and then making that same argument, because I gotta ask the question, because it's a black woman with another black woman in the video, and they're talking about a black woman, but they don't, and they put Trevor Noah the man up, and his picture as a kid, but they don't put the white guy up. I gotta ask, are you leaning towards this is a black male issue? Because this is how people do it. Like the imagery says one thing, but the situation says another thing. But hey, you know, it's got to be black men are not traditional now. I'm just saying this is how people uh, make a caveat and a beeline to see the men of today. These black men ain't on X, Y, and Z. And I'm like, you didn't even use a black man for your theory, because a lot of this is like it's not upfront, it's deceptive. Instead of just being blunt and saying up front, people like to beat around the bush and make innuendo, and you got to figure it out. And then if you figure it out and you're right, and they don't really have an argument to beat what you're saying, all of a sudden, then no, it's completely about something different. And then if you're wrong, then it's see how the black men are. So it's like, oh, it's a catch-22 either way. So then you got to take it a step further. Just got to take it one little step further. And the point that I'm about to make is this: at what point in society, are we where people could tell you a half truth, and because it's wrapped up in a rhetoric that you like to hear, you just roll with it and believe it as a black person in America? And for me, it's like, man, this is getting out of hand. It's getting way out of hand. So now, I got to look at the whole situation sideways, because who's the audience that you're talking about as far as males are concerned? Because what you're initially saying, unfortunately, it doesn't really fit the description for their relationship, just in my opinion. Trevor Noah, it's his experience, it's his family, it's something that he said his mama said, whatever. And the interesting thing is this: so what happens when you raise a son like that, and you want to cage the bird, right? As she was trying to say, we're going to put him in an exotic cage. A man like that will grow up and say, listen, you know what? I'm not committing. I'm not getting married. I'm not being in a relationship with you where I do this because I don't want to cage you in. And then women go, well, he never wants to commit. And it's like, on one end, you don't want him to be misogynistic, and on the other end, he wants you to be free. And now all of a sudden, it's not working out the way you thought, because there's no good recourse for his decision. But I'm gonna leave it at that. You tell me what you think. Like, share, subscribe, or die trying. Catch y'all on the next one. Peace.
All I ask is when you lay your head on that pillow at night, I gave you everything I had.